girls, and welcome to Little Language Artists. Today we're going to be talking about interjections and nouns of direct addresses. Two interesting and important grammar concepts to study, so let's get started. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's go over some questions you're going to want to be sure you can answer by the end of this video. First question to know is, what is an interjection? You want to make sure you understand what an interjection is. Second question is, what is a noun of direct address, which we will call NODA from now on? And lastly, what do interjections and NODAs have in common? Make sure you understand these three questions by the end of the video, and you will be golden. We're going to start today off by looking at interjections, so let's take a look at the sentence. Hey, let's go jumping. Well, that sentence, let's go jumping, we can tell is a pretty easy sentence to understand. But we have this interesting word hey with an exclamation point in front of it. What could this hey be? We can tell that it's something that maybe we haven't really learned before. In this case, hey is an interjection. In this sentence, the word hey is an interjection. And interjections are words that show emotion. Most importantly, they are not grammatically related to the rest of the sentence. Some examples include words like yippee, yes, woo, wow, holy cow, cheers, rat, yuck. It's also important to note that some interjections will be more than one word, for example, like holy cow. So again, interjections are words that show emotion, and they are not grammatically related to the rest of the sentence. Another important aspect to note about interjections is that interjections typically come at the beginning of sentences and that they are punctuated with either commas or an exclamation mark. So when you see either a comma placed in front of a word at the beginning of a sentence or an exclamation point, you can pretty much assume that that word is an interjection, used to be showing emotion. All right, so let's move on to nouns of direct address. So remember how I told you at the beginning that one of the questions you want to know is how nouns of direct address and interjections are related? Well, guess what? They do share something in common, and that's why we're studying them at the same time. So let's look at the following sentence and see if we can figure out what they share in common. Our sentence is, ew, Carrie, the laundry smells bad. Well, we know the word ew is an interjection. And if we look at the sentence closely, we can tell that the sentence isn't really about Carrie. It's not that Carrie smells bad, it's that the laundry smells bad. So, in this case, what is the noun Carrie? If it's not the subject, what is it in the sentence? Well, since the sentence isn't about Carrie and it's about the laundry, Carrie in the sentence is considered a noun of direct address. So let's take a look at what nouns of direct address, or NODAs, actually are. NODAs are nouns that name a person or people being spoken to in the sentence. So in this case, Carrie is the person that our narrator is speaking to in this sentence. All right, but wait, here's a really important thing to note about nouns of direct address. NODAs are never the subject in a sentence. NODAs are never the subject of the sentence. All right, now that we know what NODAs and interjections are, you may be wondering, but what do they share in common? I'm wondering, have you figured it out yet? Okay, so drum roll, please. All right, so both interjection and NODAs are not grammatically related to the rest of the sentence. So interjections and nouns of direct address don't have a grammatical relationship to the rest of the sentence. That means that they don't modify anything and they don't play a role in the sentence that affects any other part of the sentence. You could take an interjection or a noun of direct address out of a sentence and the sentence would still make sense and have the same meaning. So for example, if we take ew, Carrie, the laundry smells bad. If we took out the word ew and Carrie, we'd be left with the laundry smells bad, which is still a grammatically correct sentence, and it still means the same thing as saying, ew, Carrie, the laundry smells bad. So here we can see that both interjections and nouns of direct address don't have a grammatical relationship to the rest of the sentence. They don't affect the sentence other than adding some emotion and more specific parts to the sentence. Okay, so now that you know what interjections are, what nouns of direct address are, and how they are related and what they share in common, it's time to start thinking about the diagrams. Be sure that you understand those 3 questions from the beginning of the video, and you'll be all set for class where we'll talk about how to diagram these sentences.